Welcome to the world of colors. I'm Colors. Today we're going to be making the little drummer boy who I have here. Let's see if I can get him here. This is how he looks. He's adorable. I'm really excited about him. He's going to be taking center stage on my mantle this year for Christmas. I really like him a lot, and we're going to be doing him today. He's an easy project, and you'll really enjoy having him. Set him back up here. He's got his little drum. I wanted to also remember to tell you right at the beginning, so I don't forget, that we have a new Etsy shop under the World of Colors on Etsy, and we're offering the Jingles elf kits right now on there. So if you're interested in a Jingles elf kit where everything is all together for you, you can go there. We have a limited number of them, but they are available right now. So I wanted to tell you about that. And then I wanted to take a break real quick, get my things together here on the table, and then I'll let you know the materials that we need to make the little drummer boy. So I'm ready to tell you about the materials list for the little drummer boy. And I also wanted to tell you that the reason why that our Gnomesville backdrop is empty today is because we're getting ready to do a video for Christmas that will be on next weekend, and we needed to take all the Christmas gnomes and put them in the video, so they're not available for the Gnomesville backdrop today. So for the materials list to make the little drummer boy, we wanted to start with 2 pairs of black wool blend socks that you can get at quite a few different stores. Just 2 pairs of nice black wool blend socks. You want the little drummer boy hat. It's a headband, and I got that at Hobby Lobby. And you can also get them on Amazon. They're not exactly the same, but they're real similar on Amazon. I'm using some gold trim. You can use different kinds of gold trim. It doesn't have to be exactly this one. I got this one at Hobby Lobby. I'm going to use a 4 by 5 inch white beard, and also a 1 inch by 5 inch piece of fur for his hair on the back of his neck. Then we need to use 3 7 by 7 pieces of tan felt for his nose and hands, and 2 8 by 13 pieces of red fleece for his pants. We need a tie for his waist. I cut a 20-inch piece. We won't be needing that much, but it helps us to give enough room to tie it. So it's 20-inch by 1 inch. And then we'll need 2 3 1/4 inch pieces of tan felt for the drum. We'll need 2 gold pieces of floral fill from the Dollar Tree. You get them in a big bag of them at the Dollar Tree, floral vase filler. And 2 chenille stems in gold. We'll need 6 of the hair rollers, 7-inch hair rollers. We'll need our flat marbles. I've got this braided trim I'm using also in gold. I got that at Hobby Lobby. And we'll need this roll of ribbon, red roll of ribbon that I got at Dollar Tree. We'll need 1 of those, some rubber bands, and your hairspray, your hot glue gun, and glue sticks, and your scissors, and you should be all set. So I'll take a break here for a minute. I'll be right back with you, and we'll start this project. The first thing that I wanted to do was to make the drum today. So you want to take your roll of red ribbon from the Dollar Tree. I don't know how to describe this. It's It's a real sequiny looking ribbon that they have there at the Dollar Tree. Real pretty. And so I'm using that to play off his hat. You could use whatever you can find there. They have gold, I think, and I'm sure they have the gold and possibly green. So anyways, I want to take the roller and take my gold marker, and I'm going to color out the white that you can see around the bottom, the paper of the ribbon, and just take your marker and go around that. You're going to do both sides. And once you have that done, the next thing that you want to do is take your gold trim and make your shape up and down on the sides of the drum. Just take your glue stick, put a little glue on there. And just work your way around the drum. Come back down again. And you want to do that all the way around the drum. And I'll take a break and do mine, and I'll be right back with you. So we've got the trim all the way around the drum. And the next thing we want to do is take out our 2, 3 1/4 inch circles of tan felt. And we're going to attach those to the top and bottom of the drum. So we'll just get some glue about 1/4 inch around the edge. 1/4 inch from the edge, and then around the middle, about 1/4 inch. And then just attach that right over the top of the green. And then we'll just flip it over and do the other side the same way. And then the last thing we want to do for the little drum is to attach the braid around, the gold braid around the inside of the upper part of the drum, and then we'll do the inside of the lower part of the drum. Bring that around. So I'm going to clip off where it's fraying a little bit and try to get it glued on before it frays too much. So just put a little glue on the end there and start it right where the two pieces of trim come together there. So you just want to put your glue right in that little crevice there. So it'll look like that. And we're going to do the same thing to the bottom. So I'll do mine and I'll be right back with you. So we've got the drum finished. I'm going to set that aside. And then we want to make the drumsticks real quick. And as all I did for that was I took the chenille stems and kind of made a tight little circle of them at the end, like that. So you'd have something to glue your floral balls on, and just glue those on like that. Preferably not to your fingers. Just glue those on like that. I'm going to take the other one and do the same thing. Just kind of curl it at the end so you'll have a little area that you can put your glue on. And then once you get those glued on, you just want to line the stem around an ink pen or your finger or whatever works best for you. And then you'll get this type of thing. And when we get the arms made, we'll be gluing these around the wrist and positioning them over the top of the drum. So we'll have those finished. Let me finish this one real quick. So we'll have those ready for us when we're ready to put those on. So the next thing I want to do is go right to making the body. So you want to take out a pair of your black wool blend socks And our body's going to be 9 inches. So this will be plenty big, the bottom of these socks. And our arms are going to be 7 inches. So we want to cut our socks right off at the top of the heel. And we'll save the top part for our arms. And we're going to make the body. And we don't even need to double the body up. You can save the other piece of the bottom for another project. We're going to go ahead and put some flat marbles in the bottom. About like that. And then you want to fill the rest of the way, or you want to fill the rest of the sock with the polyester fiber fill until you get a 9-inch body, and then you want to fasten it with one of your rubber bands. And I'll be doing that, and I'll be right back with you. So I've got the body all filled up to 9 inches and fastened it with the rubber band. I'm going to cut it off a little bit here. I've got a little bit extra that I don't need. I want to cut it off to leave about 1 inch there to work with. And then we want to go ahead and start the legs. We're going to put that body aside there. And I brought out a pair of the black full blend socks and the 4 rollers. I put 2 of the rollers together already, and we're going to put the other 2 together. So we want to put both the rollers together to make a 14-inch length instead of 2 7-inch lengths. You just want to take your masking tape and put them together. So now we have 2 of them put together, 1 for each leg. Now I measured 12 inches on my pair of socks that I'm going to use for the legs. I measured up 12 inches and I put a piece of masking tape on there so I would cut in the right spot. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut that at 12 inches. And we'll use these for another project. I'm not going to use these again, these top pieces for this. And then what we want to do is we want to fill these with polyester fiber fill. We don't put any marbles in the bottom of these. We want quite a bit to be in the bottom because that's going to be the boot area. About like that. And then the rest is, we want to fill up about the size of his legs, that his legs would be. We get them about 11 inches. I think I can put a little bit more stuffing in there. We want to fasten them at about 11 inches with a rubber band. And we don't want to come too close to the top because we do need this part of the sock to glue onto the bottom of his body. So we're going to have a little over an inch to be able to glue onto the bottom of his body. And we do that. And then down at the bottom, we're going to put a rubber band where his boot will be. We'll have trim over the top of this rubber band, but where we made it bigger down here, we're going to put a rubber band around that. About like that. And that's how you make cut. So what I had to do was I cut there for a minute because I realized that when I was making the sock I had forgot to put the roller in. So I had to redo it and tear it down and put the roller in, and this is what it's supposed to look like. And now I'm going to make another one with you and make sure to put the roller in this time. So we want to put quite a bit in the bottom of the sock for the boot. Trying to match them up size-wise. And then after you get the bulk amount in the bottom there, you can just do a normal amount for the legs. And then you want to take and tunnel down into the polyester fiber fill all the way down to the bottom of the sock. And put your roller in. And bring it back up. It won't go all the way up because the roller is going to be too long and we're going to have to cut that off. So what we want to do is put a rubber band here at the bottom to mark where the boot's going to be trimmed out. Like that. And then we'll rubber band the top, and that'll be where we attach it to the body. want to give ourselves plenty of material to attach to the body. Those look good. And then what you want to do is take your craft scissors and trim off these rollers here. Take my craft scissors and trim off the rollers here because they're too long. Like that. And then we want to get ready to glue these onto the body. You don't have to worry about whether they stick out or anything like that. We just want to get them glued on good because we're going to put pants on them. So we want to make sure they're flat, and we want to pull the bottom of our body out like that. Stretch it out as much as you can. And you just want to hold them together like that. And put your glue on there. And then just set your body right on top of that. You can even tip it back a little bit like that and put a little bit of glue right in there. Pull it back up and just hold that. We're going to hold that for a few minutes, so I'll be right back with you. The legs all glued on, and we're going to set that aside for a minute, and we're going to go ahead and make the pants. So you want to take out your two 8 by 13 inch pieces of red fleece. And we want to glue them down both the long sides. On the 13-inch sides, we want to glue them 1/4 inch from the edge. We want to run our bead of glue. We'll do about that far. And then I'm going to do the rest of this side and go over and do the other side, and I'll be right back with you. So the next thing that we want to do, now that we have the legs all in place and our pants all glued up on the sides, is we want to turn them inside out the right way. They are all set up. Turn our pant material inside the right way out. Like that. And we're going to put them over the top of the body and pull them down to the boot area, keeping the sides, the seams on the sides. Now what we want to do is make these into pants. We're going to use our pink clips that I got from the Dollar Tree, 6 for $1. And we're going to cut right down the center here. It's on the center of the legs. Take our sharp scissors and cut down the center of the legs. Like that. And then what we want to do is take our clips and clip starting at the corner. Put your clips in place. Takes about 3 clips on each side usually. And lastly, this clip at the top, I usually do that part at the end, the gluing the top part. So what we want to do is you just want to glue this all around, starting at the corner here. Get your glue on. I'm a little close to the edge right there. And then you get it glued on the corner. You take your clip and put it back on there. And you just have to go around and do that all the way around. Gluing it and then putting your clip back on top. Now I'm going to do the other side and come back and just come up to the top here and glue here and keep everything pinned, and I'll be right back with you. We've got the leg seam all glued, took the pins out, and what we want to do next is you want to fold in the waistband a little bit. Get that folded in a little bit. And then you want to take your 20-inch tie, black fleece tie, and you want to put that around the waist. Just tie it off like that and then clip it. And then we will glue the tops of the pants down in a few spots. Right here in the front. Glue that. And then right in the middle in the back. Let those set up. I'm going to do a little bit on each side. The next thing I want to do is the nose and hands. So we'll get out our 3 7x7-inch tan pieces of felt. And we'll make the nose and hands. Get that out of the way. You just want to take some polyester fiber fill. Get it about the size that you want the nose. Which he has a pretty good sized nose because his hat's so big. You want the nose to be big enough to hold that hat. I think I'll put a little bit more in there and even. You just put it in there and just push it up with your thumb. And take a rubber band and just tighten it right around there. And you want to cut the extra off. I finished the nose. I cut all the extra off here, and the nose is done, and I went ahead and made the hands. The hands are made the same way as the nose. So those are done ahead of time. We'll set those aside, and we can glue the nose on the front here and get that taken care of. You just want to put glue on the top of your back of your nose and put it right there on the rubber band on the stub here, and hold that a minute and let that get set up. So the next thing we want to do, now that we have the nose glued on, is to go ahead and do the arms. And what we want to do is take the 2 top pieces that we cut off of the body earlier in the video, and we want to fill them with fiber fill. Here comes my puppies. If you hear little bells ringing, that's their collars. So you want to put your fiber fill in there. Now the top of the sock will become the cuff to his arm, the cuff to the sleeve. And this part here that I'm working in will be the part that we attach to the body. So you get it, the fiber fill worked in so it's nice and flat like that. And then you want to make your tunnel inside of it to put your roller in so the arms are bendable. So we'll put the roller in like that. And just kind of work with it to make sure it's not lumpy. It's kind of smooth it out. And then you want to make sure the roller is down here in the cuff area, and then put your rubber band on there. I'm going to push that roller down. I want to catch it, but I don't want extra roller in the area where I'm going to be gluing the hand. That's where the hand is going to go. So then we want to take another rubber band and fasten off the top that's going to be glued onto the body. Like that. Making sure you have the roller just where you want it. And then you have your arm. And you want to clean up the end that's going to be going onto the body a little bit, because we don't have a whole lot of room back there behind that stub to glue this. So we want it to look about like that when we glue it on there. And that would be the only other thing I need to do is put the hand in. And you want to put your glue on the back of your hand and then all the way around on your rubber band. And then just put that in there right on top of the roller. I'm going to put it right on top of the roller, and then put the cuff right around where you glued the rubber band, where you put the glue on the rubber band, and just hold it there for a minute. And that's how you do your arm. I'm going to do the other whole arm, and I'll be right back with you. So I've got both the arms made now, and they're ready to be glued on. So what we do is we just want to glue them on the back of the stub here, right at the top behind the nose. And we're going to glue both of them on so each one gets half the space. And once we get them glued on like that, we're going to hold them for a few minutes and let them set up. So let me start by putting the glue on the first arm. I put it right in the rubber band area, like that, and just put it right there behind, and hold that till it starts to set up, so you can let go. And then you put the other arm on and you hold them both for a few minutes and let them set up. So the next thing I want to do, now that I've got the arms glued on there, is to put some trim around the belt on the waist before I put the beard on. It'll be a lot easier to do it right now. So we're going to take our little gold trim and we're going to take it around the waist and just let it meet at this little tie area here. So I'm going to clip that. And then I'm just going to glue this end on. This is very thin trim. It doesn't look like it's as thin as it is, but it's very thin. Just want to take it around that black belt to the other side. And then just glue that. You put the tie right down over the place where the glue is in the trim. This is a sitting, leaning gnome. You sit him down and lean him up against the wall or something else. He's sitting pretty good right there, but he's actually a sitting, leaning gnome. I'm going to take him and glue that trim right in the middle of the back, just slightly, so that we don't want the glue to be visible. Just put a little bit of glue in there. The other piece of trim I think we should put on before we do the beard is the cording that I have around the shoulders. Would be much easier to do now. I just have a piece going around the shoulders like that. So what I do is measure with the cording how much I'm going to need, and then trim that piece off, and then start by putting some glue on the end of it and go under the arm, and I'm holding that. You can see what I'm doing here. Put some glue on the other end of the cord and bring that under to meet where I'm at under there. And then just put a little drop of glue to hold it in place. Hold that for a minute. And then you just want to go ahead and do the same thing to the other side. So we got the other arm trimmed out at the shoulder, and I went ahead and put the braid around his wrists. Now the next thing we want to do is put his beard on. So you want to take out your 4 by 5 inch piece of white fur, and then just go ahead and fold that in half the long way. And go ahead and put a cut in the top of it, about 1 inch. And then you just want to take it up over the nose like that. Take it up the nose like that. And then glue it onto the stub. We want to make sure the hat covers it all up. all the glue parts. So we're going to glue it right into there like that. And the same thing with the other side. This is something that you should really do beforehand, but I always remember about right here, the bottom corner of the beard, you can put a little glue on there and then just press it in like that to round off the beard a little bit at the bottom. I'm going to show you again at the other side here. You just take that square part at the bottom of your beard and put a little V shape of glue on there and just fold that in, and that rounds off that beard. You take a little bit of Extreme Hold hairspray. And that really makes a difference on whether it's going to hold for you or not. Now while that's drying, I want to get the hat ready to go on. Now this is a headband piece that we got from Hobby Lobby, and you have to take off the headband to use it as a hat. So you just want to start. That came off pretty easily. The first one didn't come off quite that easy. And now you have the headband part off, and it becomes a hat. It also has a plastic liner in it that I took out. Because I wanted to get the weight down. I guess I could cut the tag off. And then that's what you have after you take off the headband part. And I put a little bit of polyester fiber fill inside of it so it would hold its shape. And then we just want to glue that on. How cute is that? We want to glue that right on. We're going to glue the front brim of the hat to the top of the nose. Get that started. There we go. Now I'm going to let that hold up for a couple minutes. It's real important to get the front part of the hat glued on really well before you start working on the other pieces of the glue on the sides and the back. Get the front glued on really good. So I'll be right back with you. I've got the front glued, and I'm going to put some glue in on the sides. like that. Kind of hold that down and let the side set up just a little bit. I'm going to turn them around. Little piece of trim there. I had to trim off a piece here. What I want to do is I want to put some glue under his hat back here, and if a little bit comes out, in order to glue that back down, it'll be okay, because we're going to put his hair, a little piece of hair back here. So I'm going to let this all set up for a minute. I'll be right back with you. I'm working on the back still. I've got the sides glued and the back glued. I want to take that piece of 1 by 5 inch piece of fur, and this part I think is so adorable, to glue that right across the back there. And so we will put glue on the fur. My fan is catching it. We'll just go all the way across. Like that. And then just center it right there on the back. And glue it down. That's really cute on the back, I think. See, he's a sitting, leaning gnome. So what we want to do next, we've got everything done. You see the drums are already done, the drumsticks are done. The last thing that we need to do is his boots. We need to trim out his boots. So we need to take and put the braided cord around his ankles, top of the boots. And don't tie it too tight. It goes like that. And then you can go ahead and do the other one too, like that. I love this little drummer boy so much that he's going to be right in the center of the mantle this year. So you want to take that and then untwist the braid. If you can see on the one I have finished, just untwist that a little bit. It's kind of a little long. And that's how you want that to look. I'll do this one real quick. This one's going to be a little long too. I'll be right back with you. So I've got this side done almost for the little gold trim that goes around the bottom of his boots. I did this side, and now I'm going to do the other side. So you just want to start off to the side. Hold that down there a second. Let that set up just a minute so it doesn't come loose on you. And then you just want to keep tacking it down all around the toe of the sock. I can see where we're going to stop here, so I'll trim it off. And then I'll just finish that up. Let that set up a minute, and then we're going to glue on his drumsticks, and he'll be finished. Now, how we're going to glue on the drumsticks is just take them and kind of pull the end out like that. So it's going to go around his wrist. Kind of make a U shape to go around his wrist like that. And then we're just going to have him come out like that onto his drum. So I want to put a little bit of glue on here. Like that, and then just pull this one out and do the same thing. Not a lot of glue, just a little bit, so it doesn't look sloppy. And then you just want to put his drum in there. Set them up against a wall or whatever you got to, whatever you're decorating. And just kind of place his drumsticks on top of his drum. And there he is. He's all finished. Hope you can see him good. He's adorable. I really love him. So, if you like this video, make sure to like. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe. We really appreciate you coming and spending this time with us today.